Hey guys, it's me, Lamplights. Hope you're having a good day. If not, hopefully it gets better. Anyways, this is a theory video on Abe that I decided to make because I've noticed some strange things in the storyline. So today, I'm going to be answering them in this video. So without further ado, enjoy the video. The first theory I'd like to talk about is one I call the 3 reds, or I guess technically it's 2 reds and 1 rainbow. The theory itself is that the red thing that controls Bone and the red thing that is on the back of the paint monster's bucket and the paint monster itself are all connected together in some way. I'll be using clips from Abe to prove this. The first clip is from the end scene of Abe 2. Here it is.
Maybe one day.
Now, look at this clip from Abe 5, and notice the connections between them.
This is earnest! What else could a red triangle possibly insinuate?
And this is the last clip from Abe 4. Notice the connection with this one too.
Alright, now that we got our muse, let's crack these babies open and get to painting! Oh, no, get over here!
Now, let's talk about those clips we just watched. So, my theory being is that the red thing that is on the paint bucket has something to do with the red thing that is controlling Bone. And it's a triangle probably because it might be an evil version of Oodle, or maybe just trying to eliminate Oodle and is taking over Bone to try and get out at Oodle some way. I'm not entirely sure how the paint monster is connected with all this, but he might have sabotaged Oodle by adding in that little monster thing to try and attack Oodle or something like that. And you might be wondering, why did the red thing control Bone? Well, I think it's because Bone was desperate to get friends, so he decided to control him so that he could get closer to Oodle, because Bone was competing in Oodle's competition. We also know Oodle knows something about the red triangle on the paint bucket, because when it was mentioned in Abe 5, in the second clip, he got really scared and nervous about something, so they must be connected in some way. Now there's one more thing I'd like to add, which is the paint monster itself. So I've noticed that the paint monster and the shadow in Abe 5 look similar. So let's look at the clips and see the connection.
Now, let's not be so bold,
Who said that? Ah!
Saw that coming.
Who are you?
Just your friendly neighborhood set of eyes obscured by darkness. Who I am isn't important. What is important, I believe you said something about your complexion?
Been getting scratched a lot. Not too jazzed about that.
Well then, I think you might be interested in this.
Anti-scratch cream? Is this for real?
The real deal. Homemade. Fixes normal CDs just fine. Can't see why it wouldn't work on a bigger one.
Wow, this is amazing! How much do I owe you?
Squat. It's on the house. Just know that you and I got a good thing going, so expect to see me again is all.
Wait, can I at least know your name?
Call me Shade. May the odds be in your favor, album.
Oh, no, get over here!
So now let's talk about it. I think Shade actually is the paint monster. Because if you look at their bodies, they kind of have a similar shape. Also, the Shade person just came out of nowhere, and it probably makes sense that it came from the paint monster, because in the last part of it, we could see that the paint monster ran over to the mountain, which is also where the Shade lives, which might be a sign that they are connected in some way or the same object. And he probably disguised himself as Shade because he didn't want people to know that he was the paint monster, so that he could get into the show in some way and mess with Oodle. And I assume that he's trying to mess with Oodle because in the start of the video, I said that they were all connected, including the paint monster. So I'm assuming they still are. And I think he was helping out Album to somehow get to Oodle and mess up his show. But I'm not really sure on him. And it's just like a little theory I thought of. And yeah, that's all for today's theory video. In conclusion, the red thing that controls Bone and the red thing that's on the back of the paint monster's bucket are both connected because, well, they're red, and also because they have the same symbol, and I feel like they have something to do with trying to get to Oodle. And the paint monster itself is disguising itself as Shade, and that way they're both connected. Anyways, that's all. Hope you have a good day, and go watch some Abe.